So, first things first, I want to talk about the Ezra Miller specific thing. And not gonna lie, it got me a little riled up today. Not too much. I'm not like pissed or butthurt. A little salty, but I'm mainly a little salty because there's a lot of biases going on in general with these type of matters. And the thing about it is, a lot of these are people's lives that are being played with because people have their biases and little hypocrisies and stuff. But we all have biases. Now, some people have biases that are completely harmless and that don't harm a fly. For example, let's say I'm debating someone about MCU Captain America versus MCU Iron Man. Who's a better character? I'm a little bit more biased to Captain America. So I'm going to probably lean towards gassing up Captain America live.
That just gave me flashback to that whole Predator versus Captain America debate.
Peak debate. MSK should have kept that shit up. But well, let's use that for an example. The Predator versus Captain America thing. Now, Captain America, I favor him a lot more, especially his MCU version. And I'm not a huge fan of Predator, but I can still debate about it and try to be less biased. But my bias about that isn't as harmful as someone talking about, Ezra Miller and Jonathan Majors. Now, I'll say this about Ezra Miller real quick. A lot of the stuff they have done, I don't condone. There is some allegations against them that are absolutely not true, but there is stuff about them that they have done that is absolutely true. Let's just make that clear. I supported The Flash 2 times. I seen the movie in theaters. I went to a free screening, so I don't want to hear anybody talking about, I hate Ezra Miller, blah, blah, blah. I'm a hater, blah. I supported the movie, all that. My issue is, and I know this is on Twitter today, not sure if you've seen it, Cole. When Ezra Miller put out his little statement today, I've seen a lot of people showing a lot more sympathy towards his situation and him calling out these, calling out these outlets that have been, attacking him. And some have been taking information and not actually doing proper investigations into some of the allegations against him.
Yeah, again, that's what they all do, though, K-Dots. It's like it's sort of like the James Gunn tweets where it's like it's sort of like a witch hunt, as he said in chat. Sort of like they'll take things and it's like they might not be like true or confirmed as facts, but there's so many of them that then they'll just like keep piling on and without like proving if any of them are true or not, they'll just say that, that proves he's automatically guilty because there's so many that it's impossible for all of them to be fake, right? So then they just keep slamming it and forcing it, and I keep attacking him. But I mean, there's definitely some things that ended up being true. Now, the very worst stuff,
totally.
The very worst stuff, I don't know, but there's definitely stuff that has been true, though. So that's another thing that when people try saying he's completely innocent, it's like you're lying.
Right. That's the thing that I don't like. Like, there is some stuff he's not guilty of, and there is stuff he is for sure guilty of. And I'm going to bring up one for an example. And this is the first case we saw Ezra Miller do something. But you guys, I don't hate Ezra Miller. I literally went to go see The Flash. I was even being very in the middle about the situation with them. Y'all seen it. I did want to hear Ezra come speak up at some point because all this stuff kept happening back to back. And I was even saying, dude, you need to speak up and say something because I as a person that's trying to really support your film, and you keep on getting into this drama and you really expect me. There's a lot of people that support Ezra Miller that expect us to just overlook all the drama they have accumulated. And all that drama they have accumulated has for sure harmed the Flash. It harmed the movie. There was already people that was already against it or whatever, but that drama harmed the film. And that news got out so much that even the general audience didn't want to go watch the movie because of Ezra Miller and their drama and their situation going on. I hope Ezra Miller gets, help and takes a break and just chills out and all that. But still, I can't overlook the fact that Ezra Miller could get on camera and do this.
Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
Whoa, bro.
You want to fight? Want to learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
Whoa, bro.
Fight?
So Ezra Miller can get on camera. They can do this, right? This is the first thing Ezra Miller done. Now, let me make this clear. If you put your hands on anyone, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, be prepared to defend yourself, right? If you assault somebody, just be prepared for them to, either hit back or whatever. Defend yourself, call the police, get this person charged if they do try to assault you. But a lot of people that support Ezra Miller, that support the community he's a part of, and just in general, a lot of people will not accept a person that looks like a male assaulting a woman in any circumstance, right? Especially the public. The public will not condone that. There are some people that will. I believe that, we should all keep our hands to ourselves. But if you have to use force on someone, it needs to, be reasonable. This video we saw, Ezra Miller assaulted this girl. Now, we don't know if this is staged, and we do not know, because there was never any real elaboration on this matter, right? We just know that nobody was charged.
Mm-hmm. That's the confusing thing, though, because a lot of people brought up, like, what's the difference between, like, this and some other cases, and also some others that they kind of, like, compare as the same thing to then this. It's because it's like, yeah, there's definitely moments like this that he's done on camera, but all this stuff that's happened is so weird. Like, we never got full context, and it just, like, visually looks weird, but yeah, he definitely it's so weird.
That's the annoying thing about this. This is why I say I needed elaboration on this, because at this moment, right, I don't really know what to make of this, but let's just look at it. Let's take it for what it is. Now, I'm not saying these are the same degree. These are not the same degree, but they're both in the same situation. It's a male individual assaulting a woman. Not to the same degree, but the same exact thing to an extent.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller gets on camera, chokes a girl, slams her down. Chris Brown, who we didn't see on camera, I'm not trying to say Chris Brown's any better, but he assaulted Rihanna. He physically attacked her. Now, what Chris did was way worse, but why do I have to, keep giving Ezra a chance, give Ezra a chance when nobody else wouldn't do this with any other individual, right? Any other male individual. If I was on camera and I assaulted a woman and punched her in the face and threw her on the ground, I would get dragged and people would attack me. And let's take out the fact that, take out skin color, all that. A male individual assaulting a woman is not accepted by the public. So why do I have to keep giving Ezra Miller a chance? Give Ezra a chance. And you guys, mind you, I gave Ezra a chance. I'm not here to tear down Ezra or say they're a bad person. I am willing to give them a second chance. I am willing to. But don't tell me to, let this slide here. And let's jump to Jonathan Major, for example. He's being charged for domestic abuse, right? We didn't see it on camera yet. We don't know what happened exactly. But this gets seen on camera. Jonathan Major's situation, nobody has enough evidence to say if he's guilty or innocent about assaulting a woman. And Jonathan Major is getting attacked way more for doing the same, for doing a similar thing here, assaulting a woman. And Ezra, when he did it, people barely talk about it. People barely mention it. His news was going silent. It was going like aqua silent. It was so weird. People would talk about it one day, and then next day on Twitter or just in general, everybody stops talking about it.
Yeah,
until the next drama
always
came out.
People with like biases. It's like always the people who like the people who started out this whole thing when it first broke with him doing weird things, who defended Ezra, are the same ones who then defended him here. It's like they stuck with that bias, a lot of them. And again, I'm not surprised he wasn't charged for like assault or anything like in the legal system, because again, there wasn't like full context. It's a really weird clip, but
right, because like
Yeah.
Cole, this is what I think. I think both them. Now, this could have been a situation where these two was playing around, or it actually happened and they just settled it and just like said, it's all good. We was playing around,
Yeah,
right?
even I think though, even in like the best case scenario with trying to explain this away, it's still not a good look. So the fact that so many people
Agreed.
like, again, I'm not surprised like legally that he wasn't charged or anything, but the public say and stuff, but just how many people are saying there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's just weird.
Yeah, it was good, Murdoch.
Yeah.
Ezra would have the most watched documentary tied with Tyler. Facts.
And it's also frustrating too.
I wouldn't be shocked if a documentary gets made about this. I think some documentaries are going to be made about this, especially the recent one with the MCU actors that's happening. And guys, let me make this clear. I'm not trying to make this a black versus white or a LGBTQ versus race thing. I'm just talking in general. Jonathan Majors and Ezra identifies as he identifies as they, them. But I'm looking at it for taking it for face value. They're both male individuals that are in trouble for assaulting women. One person is getting more sympathy and a bigger pass than the other individual. And I think that's wrong, because this is how I feel. If I walk down the street and I see two guys just randomly punch a woman in the face, both of them deserve to get the same amount of hate, all that, for doing initially the same thing. They both punched a woman. Both of them deserve to get the same amount of hate.
And to be punched
They both
in the
deserve
face.
And that too. And like, they deserve to get the same amount of hate. They deserve to get the same amount of hate. There shouldn't be no, well, I mean, that pedophile is my favorite actor, so I'm not really going to hate him as much. But I hate that actor, so I'm going to bash that pedophile a lot more.
I really love Ian Watkins' music, so I'm going to defend him.
Right, and that's the thing what I'm talking about, because these are people's lives that we are judging, and people are throwing too much biases into these type of situations. Yeah. Like I said earlier, with the argument of, let's say me and Cole have an argument about what's the better movie, what's the better studio, Disney or A24, right? And it's gonna, a lot of it, that's a harmless conversation, unless we're not acting dumb and getting into toxic stuff. I can say, well, Disney Tarzan has a better soundtrack than those trash A24 movies. I might be more biased towards Disney, but my bias in that conversation is not as harmful as me having a bias between two people that are being accused of the same exact thing.
I know how to end that though. Which studio supported the Nazis? Done.
Yeah, I don't know, man. A24 might have some dark secrets. I'll find them. I know they got some dark secrets.
Yeah.
When they was working on that, there was that Green Dragon movie. That movie Green Dragon they made?
Oh yeah. No, Green Knight.
I don't know, man. I think that movie was specifically used to slander Asians and make them seem like they're hoodlums.
Green Dragon. Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyhow, the thing that really frustrates me though is throughout the very start of this entire situation, the people accusing him have had one thing that they say that proves it all, and that's the taxi footage. And this entire time, we still haven't gotten it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even a taxi. It was, well, from what Major side is saying, they're saying it was a private, like, it was Escalade and stuff. I think it was an Uber, but it's not even a taxi, because we saw there were some reports saying it was a taxi and stuff. That's what I say, and you said it too, which I totally agree with. Wait until more evidence comes out before you start to really formulate a big opinion about the situations going on with these legal cases. Now, real quick,
both sides.
Yeah, both sides. I agree. And so this is Ezra's words. This is straight from Ezra's Instagram. I'm gonna read it real quick and see what you guys take away from it. I'm gonna tell you guys how I feel about it, because I don't have as much sympathy for the situation. But let me make this clear. I do not hate Ezra Miller. If Ezra Miller were to somehow stay as the Flash, would I be mad at it? Well, yeah, kind of. I'd be kind of pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't get rid of Henry Cavill and keep Ezra Miller
Well, I
based off
just
the
think
situation that happened.
it would be a stupid decision because again, I'm willing to give him like a chance down the line again. Like that's fine.
Right.
I'm okay. Like he's not a bad actor, but they
But he's
already
not.
know
He's
most of
not.
it.
He's not good for business. You can't
Yeah.
even market
He,
him on
he
a
should
red
go.
carpet.
He should go to rehab, which he did, and then he should drop out of all the current roles for the time being that he was signed to do, which
Yep.
he did. But then also, third thing, he should just move away from the Flash and Warner Brothers, and and then later on in the future maybe he can like work again on a blockbuster film. But for now, he should like step down from the role. They should just like break ties, understandably. So they've done two of those three things. I think they should do the third as well, though. And yeah, also he's just not a very good actor as the Flash. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
But that's just my opinion.
Oh, you're correct. I like him as Flash in the Flash movie. Mind you, this comes from a person who didn't like him in general. And it's not for any other reasons that have to do with his personality. It's him playing Barry Allen, the character, which I do not think Ezra did well. But in the Flash, that's his best time being Barry Allen. I thought he was really great in the Flash. But this is what he put out. And I'm assuming based off this, I think Warner Brothers officially cut ties because he couldn't say nothing about this stuff while he was with Warner Brothers. And this whole flashing was happening.
Yeah.
So Ezra says, I'm encouraged by today's outcome and very grateful at this moment to everyone who has stood beside me and sought to ensure that this egregious misuse of the protective order system was halted. Protective orders are meant to provide safety for individuals, families, and children who are in danger. They are not meant to be used as weapons by those seeking attention or fleeting tabloid fame or some sort of personal vengeance when there are people in true and dire need of these services. I've been unjustly and directly targeted by an individual who the facts have shown has a history of such manipulative and destructive actions. I implore those members of the media who have recklessly spread false claims and failed to accurately report the truth and context of the story to hold themselves to a higher standard and take the time to find the facts, rather than chasing the clicks. I don't disagree with that statement. The journalism nowadays, in general, journalism has always had its scummy sides, but everybody is trying to. People are not really trying to report the news like as they should. They want to throw too much of their feelings into it and not report it how you should report it. They will exaggerate some stuff. They will downplay some stuff, but a lot of recent journalism has shown that people are not reporting the news as it should be. When you should report it accurately, fairly, don't put too much of your own feelings into it. Just report the news, tell us what happened, keep it pushing. We don't need to know all that extra stuff. Just be fair about it when you do so. On a personal note, I want everyone to know that I'm continuing to do my best to preserve my own wellness and what I can to reverse the collateral damage this ordeal has brought upon me and those close to me. Finally, to all of you many beings in this world who have had the enormous courage to see me through it all and make it here with me, I'll spend a long time trying to explain to you what it has meant to have your support. You have my undying gratitude, admiration, and love, Ezra. Now, just make it clear, everybody. I don't dislike Ezra, but let me make this clear, Ezra. It's too little, too late now. It's been
and there's some points in that thing where he tries to make it seem like every single thing against him was proven to be false or something, or none of it he was guilty of, which is not true.
Right.
He's trying to there's points of it where it's like he's trying to make himself sound like the victim completely, and it's really odd. But there's most of the messages. I mean, I don't disagree with, but yeah.
Yeah, and look, let me let you guys know the allegations against her that I do not agree with, that are complete bullshit and have been proven to be bullshit. I did my own research into it. The allegation of him abducting the family and the grooming allegations. Those allegations I don't agree with at all. If you look into it, it is not what the media is saying it is. But as far as the incident of grabbing a woman by the neck, right? Cannot agree with that. That is straight up should be a no-no. Some of the stuff he was doing in Hawaii, it was not reported accurately, but some of the stuff he was doing in Hawaii, he legitimately is his fault, right? And I think he went to Hawaii because he was going there for some, funeral or something, or whatever. But even if you're going through stuff or grieving, that doesn't give you an excuse to go around and, place harm on people, right? Just because I'm going through a rough situation is no excuse for me to lash out and hurt anybody. That's no excuse to do so.
Yeah, a lot of the Hawaii stuff is definitely true. I will say though, some of the Hawaii stuff, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard like some of the reasons why he went a little crazy was because the locals there purposely tipped him over the edge and like tried to block him from bars or like piss him off while he was in bars because it was like it was a certain area that didn't take too kindly to tourists as much. I don't know if that's true or not, though. I haven't really looked into it.
This is BS. Dude had 3 years to explain social media. Agreed. Yeah, I had multiple years, a bunch of time to do so, and it's just I'm you guys. I am not a huge fan of the. And, just take out the stuff of them being, LGBTQ, Caucasian, all that. I just don't like the unfairness here in general. When it comes to this legal stuff, this shit is fucking serious. These are people's lives we are playing with. Take y'all biases out of this shit. Be logical. Be fair. Because, prime example, someone like Emmett Till got killed for shit like this. People not seeking the full truth. Just saying. And just taking out the race shit. Take out the fact that, in the Emmett Till situation, yes, there was racism in it, but Emmett Till is not the only person that has been falsely accused of something and persecuted for it. Right?
Yeah, I believe the youngest person who's ever been executed in the U.S. history was a false accusation, some 10-year-old black kid. It's like he wasn't even anywhere near the crime, but they just said he did it because he was in the same area.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm just not a fan of I have biases. Everyone has biases, but as a society, it's going to take years to get this stuff and actually, really teach people to limit their biases. These are times when biases need to go out the window, but everybody's not going to do that. But that's why I'm glad, even as fucked up as our criminal justice system is in America, I'd rather go through that system than, being judged by the public and regular citizens on if I'm guilty or innocent, because the public does not do research. The people that are actually doing these cases, like I said, some people are in it for different reasons. They get tipped off and paid and might screw some people over. But I'd rather go through that system because it takes time. You need to get evidence. You can get a lawyer who, and you're being judged by people on a jury that are not your peers. There's no biases in it. Sometimes there might be biases. Some people get tipped off and some people get even on a jury or biased. But still, I'd rather go through that process than being judged by the court of public opinion, because the court of public opinion is fucking trash.
What did you do?